Somehow I woke up out in Beverly, fucked up, smelling like that bourbon. And I end up alone. I'm not certain. Yeah, the girls impolite in the club every night. That's how it goes when you Hollywood perfect. Hollywood perfect.
Wagwan people, Lumanny here, back again with the first episode of Season 2 here on the Aston Villa Save. We have a lot of stuff to get done in this first episode, so I probably will end up splitting this down into a couple different episodes, maybe one on camera, maybe one off, but we'll try and get a big chunk of it done this episode because I'd like to do it on camera. Got a couple emails here just saying about players leaving on loan. I have fast forwarded to get all of that stuff to go through because obviously sometimes it doesn't otherwise. There is unfortunate news to add to this. We saw it last season but we didn't see it fully and I wasn't sure if it was fully confirmed. However, our battle for the top 4 that was so vital towards the end of last season that means the Champions League has been taken from us because Arsenal, I believe, finished 7th but won the Champions League. So they have taken our Champions League spot, knocking us down to the Europa League. So unfortunately, Season 2, after all that hard work that we put in, after everything we did to finish in 4th, that amazing win against United on the last day to put us into 4th place, none of it matters because Arsenal won. So we don't get any Champions League football this season, which is quite irritating, I have to say. Obviously, you saw our other objective is to win the league and win the FA Cup. I think that the board are going a little bit ambitious, expecting a somewhat trouble of us this season. I can't see us winning the league just yet. I don't think we're at that point. I'd say we're maybe a season or 2 away from challenging, but we're definitely not at the point where we're going to win the league yet. The Europa League is probably winnable. Obviously, we made it to the semis of the Champions League last season, so there's no reason we shouldn't be getting to the latter phases of the Europa League. FA Cup, the Cups are still not something that I was overly looking towards, but we might put a little bit more stock on the FA Cup now. We've actually got no youth development targets, which is strange. Thought there would be a lot more of those, but no. They want us to sign 3 players from South America, and we still have the same youth financial stuff. Money-wise, this is probably going to knock your socks off. You're seeing it right. We have got £202 million to spend on transfers. That is a crazy amount of money. Obviously, you guys have been suggesting a whole bunch of players. I've got a couple of players that I would also like to take a look at maybe signing. So there's a lot to do. Squad-wise, I don't know really. I think I want to add another right winger instead of maybe alongside or instead of Leon Bailey. We've got a backup striker, but we'll see what happens with Duran. Obviously, we want to look at Cam. I want to look at right back as probably our 2 most pressing areas that we need to improve. Besides from that, I'm not too unhappy with the team. So I think a lot of our replacements will be based on whether we actually need to replace players that have left or not. So, transfer list. That's right. That's what I need to show you next. Got a lot of players that we want to move around. As you can see, our transfer list is absolutely full of players, so we'll go through a couple of them. Got a lot of players we want to move. Ross Barkley barely played for us last season, so there's not really any reason to keep him around here if we can get a bit of money for him. Dendoncker was out on loan. He's probably not going to play for me. Same with Moreno. He's on a lot a week as well, so I don't think that I want to keep him around the club. I did debate it in my head for a little bit, but I think I'd rather let him go. Rico Richards and Kessler Hayden. I just don't think with our own youth players coming through that these 2 are ever going to break into the team for me, so we might as well move them on. Same with Philip Marshall. Then we've got Louis Barry, Dobbin, Bogard, O'Reilly, Feeney, Souza, Murphy, and our other youth lads to go out on loan. So hopefully something will come in for them. But yeah, besides from that, all there is to do to start this one off at the moment is advance before we look at our own targets. More loan offers and transfer offers coming in. We're just going to accept this one for Moscow. Davidson's got another one come in, which we will delegate again. Loads more offers in for everybody. I'm going to try and get a bit more money for Kessler Hayden here, because I think he probably is worth a little bit more than his valuation. I'll ask for 3.2. Huge gap, are you joking? It's not even that big. So both Ben Davisons are coming through here. So we will accept on both of these. Hopefully he'll get some game time. Loan offer for Amos, and then a swap deal for Barkley. Mikhail Damsgaard for Ross Barkley. I wouldn't actually be against that. A 25-year-old for a 31-year-old midfield swap gives us a rotational player. Clearly things not working out well for Mikhail Damsgaard at Brentford. To get up to 54. 600k. I'm not going higher than 54 though, so they'll either have to come down to my price range, or we can more than happily move this on. Tension is at the end, as you can see, so it's probably going to fall apart here. Again, I'll put this back up to see if that makes any difference. They're going to go and think about it, which is something that they are more than welcome to do, to be fair. More loan offers. We've got transfer offer in here for Rico Richards. I'm going to try and get a sell-on clause in here, just because he is so young. I think he probably will get sold on at some point. Apparently that's way too much for them for some reason. I don't know if sell-on clauses are bugged or something in FIFA now, but like, why are they walking away from a 5% sell-on clause? Like, that's a ridiculous amount of money. They come back. Mikhail Damsgaard wants 61. You can see we've lost patience. We're not taking them to the restaurant anymore. We are instead going to force them to come to the club. They'll take their sign-on down, but I'm not concerned about the sign-on. Sign-on's fine. Right, so that's going to fall through. That's fine by me. I'm not willing to pay more over the odds for a rotational player that I'm not really even that asked about myself. So we will let that one go for now. Waiting for these scout reports to come back. Hopefully they should be done soon. We will see one of the youth lads leaving here, looking a little bit like Voldemort. Brandon Davison will decide to join Watford at the two teams he had the option of joining. Got a swap deal here. I'm just going to reject that out of hand because I'm not even remotely interested in a swap deal for that player. We'll accept that loan. Adu's got another loan offer from Coventry, so we'll delegate that down. Are we close to getting these things done? I've just been accepting the loans off camera because I thought it was a waste of time to keep showing them all. See if we can get a sell on. Considering they're asking for significantly less than I should be able to get for him, they shouldn't freak out at this. We're going to bring this down to just 400 and see if that hopefully doesn't freak him out. We don't want a sell on clause. I want 490. Right, so let me ask for 580 instead then. And no, they're not willing to do it. So was he not on my loan list? He was on for loan. I don't think he was out for transfer. So I could let him go, but I'm going to need sell-on clause, of course, which they hate to put into deals, and they're still not going to put him in. That to me is really stupid. Like, you can't negotiate a single sell-on clause. I don't know why this Damsgaard thing is still here, because it's literally already said that it's fallen through. But for some reason it's just hanging out there still. Right, so we are going to go in with our first couple of offers. Now, the first one I want to sign is right back. And obviously, you guys want Arnau Martinez, which I do agree with. I'm also very tempted to maybe pick up Wagnerman as well, because he played incredibly well against us in the Champions League when we played Stuttgart. But because Arnau Martinez was the original one that you guys... Oh, were they not... Oh, they weren't selling for anything less than 50 million. Obviously, we do have a lot of money, but they won't negotiate at all. How much is Wagnerman coming out at? Maybe 8 million. It's 4 years age difference, and he's 3 ratings higher. There's also Thierry Correa that I was quite interested in. Got a lot of pace and a lot of play styles. Alright, what I might do then is I'll leave right back to you guys. You tell me, out of Arnel, Martinez, Wagnerman and Correa, who you would prefer to sign. And I will focus on other signings elsewhere. It means I'll have to wait for you guys to get back to me to make a sign-in, but that's fine. The other player I want to sign in midfield as soon as I can is Kobbie Mainoo. He's currently at Bayern. I don't think he was starting at Bayern though, and I want to try and bring him back to the Premier League. They want Jacob Ramsey. Okay, well that kind of works for us because we were looking to get rid of Ramsey. So a swap deal for Kobbie coming in and Ramsey going the other way, to me, seems to make sense. On a 3% sell-on clause, I'm fine with that. That will hopefully they can negotiate a deal, and we should get a deal that does pretty good for us overall. Jacob Ramsey going out, Kobbie Mainoo coming in. That would be pretty huge for us overall. So we should be able to bring him in with relative ease. I'm going to offer him 60, almost doubling his wage with 600 sign on. They're happy with that. Kobbie Mainoo will be our first signing of Season 2. Now, obviously, he may not go straight into the starting lineup because he's slightly lower rated than our other options in there, but he's definitely going to be around the team. He's going to play a lot of games for us in a rotational sense. And that's a big name signing, I think, for us to get. And also solves our problem with Jacob Ramsey, because we just send, say, Jacob Ramsey the other way and bring in a big player for us. So very nice bit of negotiation. Thank you, Bayern, for taking Jacob Ramsey off of our hands. So decent stats, 74 pace, 76 passing, 84 dribbling, decent defending, okay physical. I think, obviously, with us playing a CDM role, he'll definitely play that CDM role for us. So I think we probably want him to be a bit more of a deep lying playmaker, maybe alongside Kamara. I think that would be where I would see him. So nice signing for us to start off the season. Also has finesse shot, long ball, pass and press proven. So yeah, decent bit of work from Kobbie Mainoo to get Kobbie Mainoo, sorry. We are going to have to sign a rotational goalkeeper as well, actually, because I forgot that Olsen left us last season and we don't have a youth one currently. We do have Gauchi at the minute, but I don't think he's the player that I want to keep in that position. So I may sign a rotational keeper as well. But next up, I want to go ahead and look at that right wing spot if I can. There's a player that's intriguing me as well. I've always wanted to use Eberezer on career mode. He can play cam, central midfield and left wing. I'm thinking maybe we bring Eberezer in and see if he can rotate between that cam spot and the right wing spot. I'm also quite tempted by Martin Batterina, I think it is, for our cam role as well. I know you guys have asked that I sign Koku, who I'm still scouting in a minute to get a full report on him. There's a couple players that are around that I like the look of. I'm also tempted to sign Bakayoko, which is one that you guys suggested before. He's currently available for 32 million, but the player I am going to sign straight away right now is that I said I was going to sign him a lot right at the beginning of the save almost, because every time we played against Leicester, Hwang Hee-chan had great games against us. And I'm going to try and bring Hwang Hee-chan in on a rotational basis. Obviously 29, so I don't really want to overpay for him. I'm not interested in letting Stanisic go anywhere. Tension is quite high, so we have to be careful of the things not falling apart. 3.7, right, 3.5, and I'll do the deal. I'm going to take some time to think about it. Do have a player leaving on loan here. I think it's Louis Barry. Well, oh no, it's Tommy O'Reilly, sorry. He is going to Norwich on a 12-month loan. The Bayern fans are not happy about the sale of Kobbie Mainoo. They think that they should have got more for him, so clearly not overly impressed with bringing in Jacob Ramsey. Another player leaving here, probably another loan. It is. It's Costa Nedeljevic going to Mönchengladbach now for the season. Through Dendonk has got an offer from Al Nassr. I will just accept that he can go out on loan. Rangers coming in for Dobbin. Need to go into these loans and change the wage balance, because I've just realised that all of them are coming across with us paying 100% of the wages, which is not something that I want to do. I'll settle for a 50-50. Is that basically what I offered them? 3.5. Yeah, alright, well, we'll accept that then. Let's see if we can get a contract in this phase quickly and get this one wrapped up. Offer him rotation, obviously. He's not going to start. No release clause. Happy with that. What's he on? 37 in a minute. 79! Look, you're a decent player. I can't be giving you 79k though. 700. I literally can't do more than that. I can't do more than that. I'm not willing to pay for a rotational player to be paying him 79 grand a week at 29. Yeah, no, that's not going to work for me. Unfortunately, Hwang Hee-chan, who I did want to bring in, won't be joining us then. Hopefully, then that Moreno deal will go through. So, right winger wise, I'm also tempted by Mbeumo because he can play striker as well. I have also put Sancho. Obviously, he's a fringe player now at United, really. Only got 1 year left on his contract as well. I'm tempted to see if we can get him for cheap. If we could bring him in and train him as that cam role, rather than waiting for Koku's scout report, which hasn't started yet. I'm going to see if we can do that. I want to see how much United want for him first. Obviously, like I said, he's in the last year of his contract. He's a player that is on the fringes at United. Should really be at Chelsea, I'm pretty sure, but for some reason they haven't taken the option or whatever. I'm not going to be offering you John McGinn because I think it was an obligation to buy. But no, they're not going to come down to that low, so it won't be Sancho that's joining us. I think we'll go for Bakayoko then, just because but Bakayoko isn't rated really where I want to make that signing. Brahim Diaz is very tempting as well. Selling a player first. I've got Kaminsky on the list here as a potential rotational player. I actually might just try and get him in now. Hayden, which will actually work for us. So we'll send him in 25k Luton's way and see if we can bring in Kaminsky here as our rotational goalkeeper. 300k sign on. There we go. Kaminsky will come in as our rotational goalkeeper. Not the most exciting signing in the world, obviously, but it is a decent signing in our rotational spot. Also gets another player off the books that we didn't want at the club anymore. So that works out well for us. I am really stuck at the moment on what to do in this right wing spot. I like Bakayoko, but I don't think Bakayoko would come in and be a replacement for Leon Bailey, because he's 5 ratings lower than Leon Bailey at the minute. And Mbeumo wouldn't either, but I'm actually kind of tempted to try and bring Mbeumo in as our rotational player. Then he can rotate striker and right wing for us. There's also like the options of Chaibi. He can play cam and striker and left wing, so he would cover a lot of roles. Brahim can play that cam, right wing and left wing. Ebereeze can play on the wing and down the middle. There's a lot of players that I do like the look of. The one I like the most, not as a starting right winger, he's available for 22 million apparently, is Brian Mbeumo to come in as another rotational option for us. And then if John Duran gets an offer, I don't want to let Rio Hatate go right now. Yeah, if John Duran gets an offer, then I'd feel a little bit better about letting John Duran go, because we'd have decent rotation. They're losing patience very quickly on this though, so clearly not keen to negotiate. They're going to take some time. Why does everyone have to take some time? Fabrizio Romano needs to slow down with these here we goes, because it's not a here we go just because the clubs agree a fee. It wasn't a here we go because we hadn't got personal terms done yet. Fabrizio, relax. Or the Athletic this time, not Fabrizio. So not happy with the price for Mbuemo. I literally, what's wrong with my brain? I just kind of immediately forget the amount that I've offered. They're a lot more willing to negotiate. So it's looking like 24. Let's see, we're going to get another ridiculous wage ask here. Rotation option he's happy with. He's currently on 74. I wouldn't really want to go much higher than the 74 he's actually currently on. I'm going to go up to 81. I don't hate 81. I would prefer to bring it down to 75. Then this could go up to... Hello? Go up. Sure, 910. Alright, I'm going to try something then and go 75 there and go 1.1 sign on. They're happy with that, so maybe we just go higher sign-ons instead. So Mbuemo will come in. He's a player that I've wanted to use quite a lot in FIFA, on career mode especially. So I'm happy to bring him in. He will be our rotational right winger and our rotational striker as well. So like I said, if we do get a big offer in for John Duran now, I would be slightly more comfortable letting him leave. He's pretty well-rounded in all of his stats. Got decent pace. His physicals are pretty impressive. Strength could be a bit better, but not too bad overall. Very good technicals as well. Maybe his crossing could do with upping a little bit. But besides from that, I think everything else, and rapid and quick step obviously is a huge feather in his cap. We will put him on that inside forward training on right wing at the moment. And I will also go and train Kaminsky. Another player leaving on loan here. Prince Amos will be joining Aston FC for 12 months. I don't know why this is still here, Damsgaard. I don't... I'm not trying to sign you anymore. The deal's falling apart. Don't want you here. Another loan going off here. Louis Barry looking very weird in his player face. Leander Den Donker will be leaving to join Al Nassr. It's only 4.6 million at the end, so it's not loads of money, but he definitely wasn't going to play for me at any point. We've got an offer from Borussia Dortmund for Alex Moreno here, which is a bit crazy that Dortmund's coming in for a 32-year-old left back. And that's for 12 flat. They're really not willing to come up to 12. It's probably because he's transfer listed, to be honest. They're sticking to it, but we are starting to thin the squad a little bit. Another player leaving here. This is Josh Feeney going out on loan to... I don't actually even know who that club is, if I'm 100% honest. Another loan coming off here. Henry Boa going out to Real Salt Lake City for 12 months. Lewis Dobbin, his loan is also going to go through to Rangers. And Bogard is also going to see his loan deal to Burnley sealed. So we have cut down our enormous amount of reserve players by quite a bit. I think... I'm not sure what to do with Ilin Jr. right now. I don't know whether we just keep him around the club and train him. Same with Berenchea. Don't know if they're players that we just keep around. Obviously at 24 and 21, they've still got a lot of promise about them. Emi Buendia I want to keep around for at least this season. Morgan Rogers is one that I'm not 100% sure on. I might retrain him as a full-time cam. He didn't really manage to perform that well on the wing for me. So maybe he can do a little bit better as a cam. Whole bunch of transfer offers coming in here. We've got a swap deal offer from City for Boubacar Kamara, which obviously I will entertain because it's City. I don't want Gundogan though, so that is not a swap deal that I'm going to accept. I'm going to go bold and I'm going to ask for Jeremy Doku with the 5 million. They're not happy with that, so that's fine. Didn't really want to let him go anyway. Two very intriguing offers in here. One for our captain, John McGinn. So, it's tough because John McGinn being 30 years old, obviously, probably does. He's still got what it takes to play first team football for us for sure, but probably does need to be moved on at some point. So I'll go the higher end of the scale to see if they're willing to negotiate up to 50. They actually are going to negotiate up to 54. So John McGinn might be going. I don't really want to let John and Amadou go. This is a tough one. I'm going to negotiate for Amadou, but I'm going to go. It's probably going to be around the same price as John McGinn for Amadou. If they don't come up to that, then that's fine. They can just walk away. I'm perfectly happy with that. That is not one that I expected to actually be accepted. I didn't think they'd want to pay 54 million for John McGinn. Oh, there's interest coming from Wagnerman now. So if that... do I just sign him and then let you guys decide between the other two, and then Wagnerman can just play back up to us? I'm going to do something here, and I'm going to sign Wagnerman. But I'm going to try and get him for a lot cheaper than they were willing to sell him to the other team. If we sign him for 9 million and he doesn't want a lot of wages, then he can just come in and be our rotational option. Because obviously we did sell Nedeljkovic. And do our old classic 38, 500, 800. I'm going to take some time to think about it. Obviously they do have another offer on the table, so that's not really too surprising. What was I offering? Oh, I've done it again where I've forgotten what I was offering. 455. Right, they're going to take the 46. It's a little bit more than I wanted to pay, if I'm 100% honest, but I guess with him only having a 9 million transfer, it's not too terrible in the end. So Josh Wagnerman will join for 9 million. So what I need you guys to do now is pick between Arnel Martinez and Thierry Correa. Josh Wagnerman will then play backup to whoever that is, and we will let Matty Cash go should we get an offer in for Matty Cash. Here he is, 6'3", obviously. He's a giant, really quick. Can play attack and wing back, which we play, so that is very useful for us. Agility and balance need a bit of work, but obviously the acceleration and sprint speed are impeccable. Good strength on them and stamina as well. Could use a little bit of technical work, but decent looking player. Definitely a good rotational player for us, I would say. I will put him on wing-back training. So another rotational signing for us. I know it's a lot of rotational signings right now. I've seen something that's intrigued me, should I say, and it is Xavi Simons. He's available for 80 million at the minute. 81,900 is the least that they think we can get him for. Obviously, it's a huge step up in terms of players that we're signing, but I remember obviously he's been out on loan at Leipzig the past 2 seasons, hadn't really settled in at PSG. So I'm thinking maybe we could use that as a kind of way to muscle our way in and maybe sign him. But I'm going to wait for the Koku Scout report to finish, because only 1 day until that finishes, and then we will go from there. So unfortunately our captain will be leaving us. John McGinn, 54 million, going to Roma. It's a sad day to see John McGinn go. Obviously it's a huge amount of money, so we can't bat our eyelids at it really, but it is sad to see him go. I really enjoyed him. I know a lot of you said about maybe it was time to let him move on, or maybe drop him out of the team for other players. I was a big fan of John McGinn, so I definitely will miss him being in the team. As you can see, the confirmation is there with him in the shirt. 77k a week wages. Does mean we will have the opportunity here though to go out and make a CDM signing. So that is something that I'm going to go take a look at now. We did win our first pre-season game. We won it 3-1 over Bologna. Obviously a team that absolutely decimated us when we were in the Champions League. So nice to get a victory over them. We also have an offer coming in here from Newcastle for Watkins. I don't think I would let him go to Newcastle. I'm pretty sure the only teams I wouldn't let him transfer to England for sure. I'm not going to let him go to an English club or a rival of ours. We may sell him abroad potentially, but I think it'd be more likely that we keep Ollie Watkins this season more than anything. I've just seen there, however, Koku, his scouting has come back and he can play CDM. So I think Orkun Koku, we may bring him in. What's his tackling look like? Not too bad. He actually may come in now as our replacement for John McGinn rather than our cam spot. There we go. So we will agree a deal. Can we agree wages? Obviously, he's going to want a lot, so we probably will just accept pretty much whatever he wants. It'll be an important play for us for sure. He wants to be crucial. That's not as much money as I thought he was going to want. I will offer him 65, and he's happy with that. So Koku will be joined. What the hell just happened to me? I'm telling Santa Claus in the background there. Oh my god. Koku will be joining us pretty much directly to replace John McGinn. After the captain leaves, we bring in his replacement. They kind of look like they have a pretty similar build overall. So it's kind of like bringing in the Turkish John McGinn. I don't know if that would be taken as an insult, but I think John McGinn is a decent player, so I don't think personally that it would be an insult. But yeah, he will also inherit the number 7. I was literally just going to say I'll probably give Koku John McGinn's number, but the game has decided to do it straight away for me. So Koku, our new, as we literally now just get the John McGinn screen pop up, he will leave for 54 million. And then basically pay mostly for Koku to come in. 4 million difference is all that it is for that there. He can also play that cam role should we need him to, but my idea is 100% to start him in that CDM role. Don't know if that's a vision that you guys had at any point, but I think with letting John McGinn go, that is what I would like to do. So we'll put him on that deep playmaker training. You can see stats wise not got the most pace. The sprint speed's quite low. Shooting, passing, dribbling all look really good. Defending's pretty decent as well, and physical's pretty decent. So I would say that's a pretty quick turnaround, a nice quick replacement for us, and he definitely will step up into the first team for sure straight away. Really all that's left, obviously I'm waiting for you guys to give me a right back and then probably a cam. I may now go in and see if we can sign Xavi Simons, but before we do that, we are going to send our scouts out. Now obviously we did take over as Ghana manager at the end of last season, so I will 100% be sending a scout out to Ghana to see if we can pick up any players. I think they have a lot of talent going forward. Maybe a striker. I think midfield they could use help in. Other countries, I'm not really sure where we want to go. I think I'd like to go South America, to be honest. And maybe, I think we're going to go Ecuador actually. And from Ecuador we're going to look for, let's try and find a Valencia regen. See, who else could we potentially look for? We need to look for keepers in the next place. Then we'll go striker, because there's been a couple of decent Ecuadorian strikers, and CDM just because it covers a role in our squad. Then we probably want to keep one. Do we want to go Asia or do we want to go Europe? I think we're going to go Europe. And we'll go for a European nation that doesn't get scouted that often. Montenegro. See if we can pick up any great Montenegrin goalkeepers. Who knows, might happen. So those are going to be our 3 nations that we scout this season. Obviously Ghana will be directly to try and get players into the national team. Ecuador, just because I think it's a nation that I haven't scouted very often. And unfortunately, I think I've now put this in the middle of the month again. Oh no, I've put it towards the end of the month, which is what I did last time, so that's fine. I don't think I'm going to do too much more in this episode. I may... Do we try and get this Xavi Simons deal over the line? And then leave it at that, maybe? Right, yeah, I'm going to see if we can sign Xavi Simons for our cam roll. And then we will go from there. They want 80. I'm going to try and go below 80. Enrique looks so just bemused there. 82 they're willing to accept. Let's see if we can wrap up a contract with a young playmaker. He's on 105k at the minute. He would have to be one of the best paid players in the team, obviously. Take a pay cut to come here. Down to 96, and we will make the signing. Xavi Simons, absolutely superstar signing for us here. As you can see, we're getting the big player cutscene, which I haven't actually seen that much because I don't tend to sign absolutely monstrous players. But I think he was on the fringes at PSG, spent 2 years on loan at Leipzig. There's also always talk about him leaving and going to other clubs. So I think it makes sense. Maybe it's a little bit iffy because we're not in the Champions League this season, but we did finish in the Champions League spots. I think it's just unfair that we were robbed. Maybe he can be the catalyst to push us over the line. I think it's a good signing. You guys let me know what you think in the comments down below. We did need a big player in that cam role for us. Obviously, we haven't got one there at the minute. So I think it's a big signing for us. Him and Koku alongside Boubacar Kamara in our midfield is absolutely huge for us. And a big signing. So you guys let me know what you think. I think it makes sense. I think we probably still need a little bit of rotation behind him, to be honest, at cam. Isn't as high long shot wise as I probably would like, but the finishing is decent. Attack positioning could use a bit of work as well. Passing, pretty well rounded. Dribbling is obviously incredible. Where's his free kick stats? Can't take free kicks, which is quite surprising for a cam. They're usually on. Defending we're not really that bothered about. The strength definitely needs some help at some point because it's quite low, but an absolutely massive superstar signing for us here. Xavi Simons joining the club. It's easy to wonder if Koku can live up to fans' expectations, especially since he has big shoes to fill at Villa. He does. The transfer is an absolute disgrace to the supporters. How's it disgrace to the supporters? I don't think we're going to do too much else besides from wait for you guys, obviously, to give me a right back signing. I've got a couple friendlies I'm going to fast forward through. And then we might leave it there and then play the next league games in the next episode. So yeah, make sure you get down below in those comments and let me know what right back you want. Right, so I think what I'm actually going to do is I'm going to wrap things up there, let you guys get your feedback to me so too much of the window doesn't tick down and too much other stuff doesn't happen. So yeah, we're going to leave things there. Let me know on those right backs. Let me know who you want to sign. Let me know if there's anything else that you think we should do. Anyone we should potentially move on and replace. Anyone that you think we should bring in as a rotational option. I think starting lineup wise, I'm pretty happy now with us going forward. I've got to decide between Danto and Bissek starting. I was a big fan of Bissek towards the end of the season, but obviously Danto is the higher overall altogether. So yeah, once we get that right back done, I think I'm pretty happy with the starting lineup. So yeah, let me know what you think in the comments down below. Please subscribe and turn on the notification bell to get notified when the next episode is available to you, and I hope to see you in it. Peace.